Hello everybody, I'm Doug. Welcome to the Auditory Vinyl. Lighting looks hazy or something. Anyway, this is another episode in my record labels A to Z. We are on letter S. So, yeah, there was a lot to choose from. I didn't choose Sun or Scepter or Sire, none of the big ones. I try to keep it with the smaller labels just to make it a little bit more interesting, I guess. So, to start off, Swan Records, not associated with Swan Song. This one started in 1957 in Philadelphia. They actually had one Beatles single, She Loves You, was put out on Swan through permission from EMI or something. I don't know. It depends on which website you look at with the information there. But it was like the only Beatles single, I guess, to be put out on the Swan label. But they also had Freddie Cannon, who had a hit with Palisades Park, and also Way Down Yonder in New Orleans. And somebody wrote 1959, so I'm assuming that's when it came out. They also had a big hit with Billy and Lily with a song called La Di Da. Went to number 9. And also Danny and the Juniors, Link Ray were also on that label at one point. They lasted until 1967 and then filed for bankruptcy. Scotti Brothers started in California in 1974 by Tony and Ben Scotti. Leif Garrett was one of their biggest hits early on. They had James Brown in the 80s for a few of his records. Lots of soundtracks, Cobra, Transformers, a couple of the Rockies, Eddie and the Cruisers. Weird Al Yankovic was on this label. The Nylons, Freddie Jackson, and Survivor with Eye of the Tiger. In 96, the lighting is just weird today. I don't know what the hell. 96, they changed their name to the All American Music Group. But then, so that was the end of Scotti Brothers as far as the label. Shelter Records started in 69 by Leon Russell and Danny Cordell. Lasted till 81, but in 76 Leon Russell left and started another label called Paradise. But while he was there, he signed J.J. Cale, the Gap Band, Freddie King. Tom Petty was on there for, I think, one record, Phoebe Snow. The original label was red and had an egg shape with kind of the Superman-esque logo in there, and DC Comics sued them, and so they changed it to something a lot less fancy. But Leon, of course, he was on his own label. This is Will of the Wisp. It's got Steve Cropper and Mary McCready and Jim Keltner and a few others on this. Here's the label, and there's what they changed the egg shape with the S in there too. That is Shelter Records. It was distributed by MCA, ABC, and Arista, and then there in the late 70s, early 80s, all the artists that were signed to Shelter kind of got spread out among those other companies. And then the rest of them ended up on Rondor record label. And then in 81, Shelter closed its doors. Seco Records. I guess that's how you pronounce it, unless you want to say Seiko, but I think it's Seco. Started in 1943, Sidney Siegel. Originally it was all Latin music. A lot of the Mamba and Cha-Cha and Rumba and all that type of stuff. But in the late 50s, they moved on to jazz and even got off the 10-inch or the 78s and got onto the regular 33 stereo LPs. Tito Puente was on there, Skip Henderson, Gloria Lynn. And then a lot of their, this is Jose Melis, or I don't know how to say his name. But he's on the label. They did a lot of compilation stuff like K-Tel, only it was all like the one-hit wonders, Latin music kind of one-hit wonders. So they put out a lot of that type of stuff. And then when rock music got real popular there in the 50s, the whole popularity of Latin music died off, and so the Seco label kind of ended, and it was eventually bought by Met Richmond Company. But that's an early version of the Seco. The later ones kind of look like the Capitol Rainbow label, real similar to that. Sunset Records started in '65 by Liberty as a budget label. It lasted until the early 70s in the US and lasted till 78 in the UK. Canned Heat, Willie Nelson, Henry Mancini, Del Shannon, Janet Dean, Johnny Rivers. This is his Whiskey A Go-Go revisited. That's C.C. Ryder, Hard Day's Night, When a Man Was a Woman. There's the Sunset label. So it's some reissues, but not all of it. Like this is an original release, but a majority of it was, like I say, reissue stuff or stuff that Liberty just wasn't quite able to sell as full price. So I guess I don't understand how that works, but they moved it to the Sunset label and was able to sell it for a lesser price. So there you go. Those are the S's, and you're probably more confused now than when I started, but I don't know what to tell you. So yeah, not too many left. Move on to T and see what we come up with. Talk to you later. Enjoy the music.